So when we started, your concept was you went back,
Right.
and then you tried to pull with your shoulders, and you pull this all the way through, and then clear up here, and then always someplace up here, this did this.
Right.
Okay. The biggest thing for you to get out of this whole deal starts with the individual hand drills where we start to figure out where the club pivots. So if you were going to take it down to one thing, it's how this club pivots here. And so all you're doing is you're directing the momentum of the club head, and then your wrist just it just lets the club head go, and your wrist kind of just, what you would call, flips. So you're directing the momentum of the club head out in front of your hand, and then you just let the weight of the club go and it'll hinge back up. So when you showed up, you had this concept. You would get here and you would drag this all the way through to here, and that would what's made your left arm go this way, and then waist play over here, then this would do that. Well, that little lever system is where most of your speed is. Okay, so now if you put it in your left hand, you got to learn to be able to stand here and have this thing pivot, because what your swing is going to feel like is this same thing. The only difference is our body moves, so now the pivot happens up off your left. There you go. There's your golf swing. Now put your right hand on the club, but don't just let it go along for the ride, and do the same thing. There's your golf swing. Make sure that when you take the club away, as the club swings back, it feels like the handle goes down and the club head feels like it goes up. Mm-hmm. Where you tend to get in a little trouble sometimes is the club gets around you. Mm-hmm. And then when you start down, it's pushing the club out away from you, and that's when you start hitting to the right or hitting the hosel.
Okay.
So the only thing we really worked on in your backswing is you got to feel like the club head stays outside your hands like that, and then it breaks over your hands this way. Mm-hmm. You never feel like the club head on your backswing gets to the right of your hands.
Okay.
It always feels like it's in front of your hands or to this side of your hands. You start down, the handle comes down and the heel of the club goes out. Handle down, heel out. Don't care where the ball goes. Now when you did that and it went left on you, well, not so much the shoulders. You didn't work the heel out. When you worked the club, the handle came down, but when the club went out, instead of the heel going out, you worked the toe out. So what did your wrist just do? Right, so your wrists don't unhinge, they just work the heel of the club. Handle down, heel out. Handle down, club head out. Handle down, club head out. You don't have to do anything with your wrists. Your wrists will unhinge automatically. Just handle down, club head out, and just let it go. They'll unhinge. There you go. Monica, that's so good.